Welcome to the full blood moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. So we're going to talk about themes, energies you're probably going through, so you know you're not alone, and kind of what's like coming in. And then we'll do our little ritual of what you should kind of be like harnessing and focusing on with this energy. And you know, I'm kind of using the word ritual a little loosely tonight because it's sort of a very different energy. You know, I mean, in general, I feel like on the planet right now, we're dealing with sort of different energies, right? Not something that we're completely used to. Hey, how are you? Happy full blood moon eclipse night day. So tomorrow, this is going to be like in totality, and we'll all be able to see it, which is the cool part. On the West Coast, like Pacific time, this is going to be exact at 3:33 a.m. on 3/3. And you know me, I don't believe that's a coincidence for a second. I think that's pretty fascinating. Mars square Uranus happened literally the day that the war started, which is no surprise. But so this eclipse, right? If you're on the West Coast, if you're Pacific time, 3:33 a.m. is when it will be in totality. But you will begin to see it eclipsing at around 3 a.m. there, and it'll finish about 65 minutes later. So if you're on the East Coast, 6:04 a.m. to about 7 a.m. is your best time to see the totality of this eclipse, this lunar eclipse. So if you can get up early, go out there, check it out. I'm going out, and I'll film whatever I can for y'all, and try to get it as much as I can. But that's what I believe. I don't believe in coincidence, but just throwing that out there. I feel like I have to sneeze. I did. My allergies down here for some reason this time around, like I'm in Florida, you know, half of my life, are really killing me. But there's also a drought going on. Do I look tropical? I have skulls all over my dress, actually. I don't know if you can see it, but so we're going to talk about a few things and, you know, do a little reading here for this eclipse energy. I did post one this morning too, so check it out on the channel if you haven't seen it. And then I have a little like ritual sort of that I want y'all to do with this eclipse. So up to you about making moon water and things like that. I do not do those things during an eclipse. It's just my personal opinion. You know, follow what you feel guided to. If you like to work with eclipse water, go for it. You know, eclipse energy is very strong. It's the sort of most radical like energy that we deal with astrologically on this planet. And this eclipse is closing out a full portal. It's also a very powerful portal day, being that it's 3/3. So there's just a lot of energy going on. If you can find a good reason and way to harness that energy, and you know you want to make your moon water and stuff, do what feels right for you. Personally, I just don't. You know, the shadow energy of an eclipse, even a solar one, is definitely something to consider. And a big part of the energy that we're sort of in right now and what this energy is going to kind of be about. So we've got the South Node presently in Virgo, right? Which is the reason this eclipse season has been happening in Pisces or Virgo, right? This year we're going to shift into North Node Aquarius, South Node in Leo, and then the eclipses for the next 18 months will be in those two signs. So we're kind of wrapping up the end of this energy. And it's really about clearing out the lower vibrational shit in your life, right? Or around you, or in your own head, mind, the things that we, you know, self-limiting beliefs, whatever, that we need to get rid of. It's like the shit, you know, whatever you thought you knew, you have to be open to the possibility that that's no longer valid. It doesn't mean that you were wrong at the time. You're just wrong. Like, it's just not valid anymore. And that's really a theme I want y'all to think about, right? We're also in a really strong Mercury retrograde right now, and it's a long one. It'll be with us through all of March. And that's about revisiting, reviewing, right? So revisit the absolutes that you've decided in life, right? The things that you decided years ago that you just hold on to as your truths. Are they still valid for you? Do they match up with where you're going or who you're becoming, right? These are the kind of things I want you to question and look at. Johnny Walker, I suppose. Yeah, it's probably not a bad analogy. And then you got to consider also the energy, like what Virgo energy is, right? Because this is happening in Virgo. This full moon is in Virgo. And, you know, Virgo is about order and organization, your daily routines, your health, things like that. And on the flip side of that, the shadow energy of Virgo can be very rigid and obsessed with perfection. And perfection is not what we're after. Perfection's what we want to let go here. All right? Allow shit to just be messy. All right? Your creation doesn't need to be perfect. If you're holding on to something and not putting it out there for the collective to enjoy because you haven't achieved perfect, I promise you never will. You know, like if there's any theme that I think is very common and obvious on my channel or any of my work, is that it's so far from perfect, but that's because it's authentic. It's because it's real, right? We're not perfect. Nobody is, okay? And I hate the Hollywood friggin', you know, sort of perception that level of perfection is even achievable. It isn't. You know, those people don't look like that in real life. They're not perfect in real life without being able to have somebody say cut 28 times and getting the chance to redo it. That's not real. So real is what we're after. So fuck the perfectionism, right? I struggled with that so much in my life that it kept me from accomplishing anything. I just stayed stuck because nothing was ever perfect enough to really be like revealed. What's the point of even creating at that point, right? There's something beautiful about the mess, about the imperfection. So I want you to consider that too in this whole energy, all right? So yeah, shadow side of Virgo, just watch out for it, all right? Don't forget, this is also a very powerful portal. The fact that this full moon and eclipse is happening on 3/3, the day of a very strong portal, is something, isn't it? It's something. So we're going to close out this current eclipse portal that began with the solar eclipse after this one, and then we'll have another one coming up not till May. But remember what I told y'all, the 3 months in 2026 that you need to be awake and paying attention to are February, which did not disappoint, April, and July. And March is relevant because of it being sort of sandwiched in between these 2 months of unimaginable change, global change. People are awakening by the masses, you know, and seeing through illusion and realizing the bullshit we've been fed for our whole existence and cracking the matrix, and that will continue. There'll be a big one in April, there'll be one in May, there'll be one in June, and then there'll be a massive one in July. And a lot of people have already done that, gone through that already in February. Those of you who had experienced your awakening years ago, like me, you're still coming into it like a sort of another awakening. Like I'm finding gifts I never knew I had, like, and I'm seeing it with a lot of my friends and clients and stuff too. So rad, stay with it. It's pretty badass. It's pretty badass. But eclipses are to bring sudden illumination. That's really what they do, you know? And this theme, this Virgo theme, is like work and service to the collective and your health, like habits, daily routines, things like that. It's the 5th of the 7th of the 7 that will happen in this Virgo Pisces, like, you know, alignment axis. The last 2 will be in May before we flip into that Aquarius Leo one. So emotions are going to be really high because we're in Pisces, right? An emotional sign. Ruler of the 12th house, the last house, very deeply spiritual house. Emotions are definitely going to be high. You're going to see revelations in the weeks following this eclipse portal because this is just sort of the door opening. So you may not get some huge, explosive, enlightened moment of clarity or something tonight or tomorrow. But in the weeks that follow this eclipse portal, I'm sure you will, and I'm sure we will globally on a collective level. It's full of possibilities. All right, so that's really what this morning's reading was about. So please check that one out, okay? I want y'all to make sure that you don't miss that message. Okay. Anything else I want to tell you about now, or I'm going to let that be? No, Spirit says I'm going to let that be. We'll talk about March astrology later. I have it all ready to go for y'all. Water signs always are, you know. So who's going to feel this the most? Anybody that has a placement around 12 degrees. Hello, beautiful. So, you know, like 11 degrees, 10 degrees, even 13 degrees, 14 degrees. If you have a placement in your natal chart at 12 degrees of any of the mutable signs, you are going to feel this the most. All right, so like Gemini or Sagittarius, right? This is going to affect you the most. It's going to be a profound effect. But we are all going to experience this regardless. So just throwing that out there. It's one of the questions I think I get asked the most. All right, let's do a little reading. I call upon the light, call upon the divine, angels, guides, ancestors, and my higher self. Let's bring the collective the best and highest messages meant to reach them right now. During this 3/3 portal, full moon, full blood moon, lunar eclipse in Virgo. Yeah, I hear you. All mutable and free. Well, check your degrees, your planetary degrees. But if you've got anything especially dead at 12 degrees, might be a thing. Just saying. For the collective, please. Making sure we're all shuffly. We gotta be shuffly. Whatever that means. So Virgos, obviously, they're a big part of this eclipse. Pisces, because it's happening in your sign. And it's also your axis, right? I have a Virgo placement. It's my Venus. Some would argue it's the worst Venus sign one can have, which makes sense. New moon showing up. So the new moon will be on the 18th. It's at the very end degrees of Pisces. I think that's going to be a really powerful one too. But we'll talk about that a little later. But new moon is about new beginnings, right? It's when we set intentions and start things. Virgo star. Yeah, I have a lot of Virgos in my life around me. I do. My brother's a Virgo, so I always lived with Virgos. And my best friend is a Virgo. My firstborn daughter, my oldest daughter, is a Virgo. That's a Virgo around me. Knowledge and home. A lot of change here. I think some of y'all are realizing that maybe where you live, your like literal geographical location. Yeah, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. That is true, which is retrograde right now, don't forget. In a sign it hates being in, so rad. This is feeling to me like geographic location, like, you know, you're realizing that maybe where you live or whatever is just no longer the right place for you, right? It was home for a long time and it was wonderful and whatever gave you whatever it gave you, and you know, doesn't have to be a bad experience. It's just not aligned to you anymore. And where you are, especially as an awakened soul or a starseed or a light worker, you know, if you're on my channel, you are a mystic, a shaman, a light worker, a starseed, a healer, like, you know, that you're one of us. That's why you find me, you know. But for us, it changes, like throughout our lives, there are locations we are just meant to be. It's the reason why I get sent all over the place all the time. There's a reason my energy needs to be where I'm at on that day. And y'all have that going on too. And there are certain places that will support you in certain phases of your life on a spiritual path, right? As an awakened soul. And a lot of you, I think, are approaching that moment where you've been or where you are is no longer the place that's meant for you. And it's really going to start to feel that way, or you'll feel really pulled and suddenly obsessed with a specific location for no reason, or, you know, find yourself traveling there, and then you get there and you're like, yeah, never want to leave. Kind of like what happened to me the first time I came to Southwest Florida. Prior to that, I was not a Florida girl. You know, I'd been all over every other part of Florida, but it wasn't for me. Could never imagine myself living here until I found Southwest Florida and fell in love with the Gulf, and that was it, you know. But that theme is going to be coming up for some of you. For others of you, it's just that you're going to see changes in your home life, right? Like, I know that's certainly happening for me. I'm about to be an empty nester after, you know, being a mom since I'm 22 years old. My baby's going to graduate and turn 18 in April, and my girls are already adults, and that's a shocking change to your home, you know, but I'm also moving. And I just feel like a lot of you are going to be seeing themes like that too. You know, it doesn't have to be exactly that theme, but something similar. You know, a lot of home changes. And it's because you're expanding your knowledge, right? That's why knowledge is here. Don't forget, we've had Jupiter in Cancer for a long time now. It's about to go direct too. Thank God. March 10th, Jupiter goes direct in Cancer. But Jupiter loves being in Cancer. It's exalted in Cancer. It's a great placement. So if you are a Cancer, when Jupiter goes direct, you're probably going to see a lot of really positive growth and expansion and good fortune in your life pop up. But it's going to move into Leo this year in July. So that's going to bring a really different energy to the idea of how much we can grow and expand our horizons, and like how much good fortune and good luck we can bring in for ourselves. Just keep an eye on that too. Yeah, you know, just you got it. Sometimes it's trial and error too. Go someplace, see how you like it. You know what I mean? And I think thinking is almost a trap, the overthinking thing, right? This is a decision that's going to be guided by the heart or intuition, you know? For the collective, best and highest messages for this lunar eclipse in Virgo. It is the best place ever. I do really love it here. I mean, if I had all the money in the world, truth be told, I'd probably go to Key West. I love Key West, but it's a different life all the way down there. It's pretty far off the mainland and pretty expensive. For the collective, best and highest messages, please. We are going to pull some grunge tarot tonight too, because it was such a hit the last time. Couldn't help myself. Wow, you guys got a lot of these cards. I didn't think you would, but you did. It's an interesting energy. What's the first thing you think of when you see this card or that word victim? And take note of the acorn. It feels telling. Bittersweet. Completion. Now that's what we want to see. That's what we want to be doing. We want to close out the old bullshit. Workaholic. These are chakra cards too, so they all represent a certain chakra, so I'll give you that in a second. Perception. This is the key word that's been on my mind all day. I want to make sure I talked to you about this. Perception. Creation. Oh, it's a snoring dog, sorry. Creation. Perseverance. All right, so we got sacral chakra here, the root of your creative center, kind of like your vital energy. You've got the throat chakra here twice, which is about authenticity and speaking your voice and being heard, right? Confidence. You've got the heart chakra twice in victim and perspective or perception. And creation is the crown, your connection to source, right? The last chakra. Some of y'all, this is about victim mentality, being stuck in that repeated cycle. You know, if you tell the universe you're a victim, it will treat you like one. So you might need to break out of that energy a little bit. Spirit's acknowledging that like goodbyes and completion can be very bittersweet. Like, you know, the example of like my baby's growing up and moving on. Like, you know, as a mom so young, I never got to be an adult without being a mom, and I don't know what that kind of freedom is like. So that's exciting, but it's bittersweet because I gotta say goodbye to my babies that have spent every night with me their whole lives, and it's weird. Like, it's not easy. Completion. Listen. Saying goodbye, putting cycles to bed, it shouldn't be that difficult for us. You know, like, it's almost a shadow thing when we can't let go of things. You know, like, thank them, Give gratitude and have all this grace and appreciation for what they were in your life, what you learned from it, how much it allowed your soul to grow. But letting go of it should be exciting because it's opening up a door for a brand new adventure for you. It's exciting, you know? Workaholic, balance is a big deal right now, you know? We need to be balanced in like work-life balance or duality in all things, right? As above, so below. Divine feminine energy, divine masculine energy. Balance is really important right now. So kind of look at where you are feeling out of balance or where things are out of balance in your own life with this eclipse, okay? Perception is such a humongous deal in leading a spiritually led life. Your way of looking at things, if you're able to sort of flip a perspective here on any situation in your life, it changes everything, right? Like the moment you accept that like people don't always leave and abandon you, they're removed from your life because they don't deserve to be around your energy and they're holding you back from reaching like your highest good or something meant for you. You know, perspective changes everything. So I want you to consider that too and see where that maybe could be having a very profound effect on your life right now, or the things that you're having a hard time letting go of or completing, right? Creation with all this sacral energy, I think is a really big message here. So is perseverance, strength, right? Like even in 5D consciousness, right? As an awakened high vibrational soul, that does not mean that bad shit doesn't come into your life or happen to you. Like you won't ever lose a job or a you know, partner, romantic partner, or have a fight with a friend or whatever. Like it's not what that means. What it means is you now have tools to deal with it you didn't have before. It takes a lot of the power away from these situations, right? Your ability to just kind of roll with the punches and flow and be adaptable and just grateful for what it was. It's over now. Like, cool, wish you the best. You know, it's all going to happen. It's just that you're going to handle it differently and you're going to look at it differently, and it'll be a lot less shitty and a lot more joyful, you know? And authenticity is kind of a message here too, right? I mean, we've got 2 throat chakra cards. We've got creation. Your creativity, your creative center is really like creation is the one thing that all humans are meant to do on the earth. Like it's really like the core reason for our existence. You know, it's what the universe wants to see us all do. And it has to be authentic. Like you can't censor your own creation based on other people's perception of who you are, what you should be doing, what's right or wrong, or what's within bounds or isn't. Like none of those lines make a fucking difference anymore. And if what's going on in our world right now doesn't say that, I don't know what else could for you. Like we're breaking the matrix. We're seeing through the bullshit, right? We're seeing the truth and the reality of our existence. And we don't have to be limited to 3D reality and its rules anymore. We don't. 3D rules don't apply in 5D, right? So I just want you to think of all the ways that you've boxed yourself in or created a boundary or even an obstacle for yourself. You know, the universe never gives us obstacles. They're all self-created. And really look at them, revisit them. It's retrograde season, right? And see what you can do to break your mind out of that box that's been holding you contained all this time. This is like reckless abandon time. It's also a big ass reckoning. So anybody that's got a truth that needs to be revealed or that hasn't been operating under like certain moral code or with the thought of what's for the best for the whole collective is gonna see themselves called out and they're gonna fall. We've obviously already seen it start happening. You know, there's a lot of frustration around that right now. We know that karma always has its day. Maybe not necessarily always on the timeline we want it to, but it always has its day. So the reckoning is coming, and this eclipse is the biggest sign of it. It's coming, promise. Is it? I don't know. I don't know. Talk to me about that in 2 weeks or so, all right, Lars? I think that you may feel differently, but I do understand how you feel. I was actually stuck there myself for quite a while, very recently, like up until maybe a few days ago. Let's see what the Grunge Tarot wants to talk about. Yeah? I know that was a very big hit for y'all. Let's see. What is the message for the collective on this full moon lunar eclipse? What they need to hear. Advice, guidance, what's going on, which they embrace, which they let go of. Well, that, yeah, I know that. I mean, I don't know, bigger than that. You got the Hanged Man, stagnancy. This is kind of what we're talking about, right? Like, I've felt that a lot recently. Like, I was just kind of still, and I hate that feeling. Y'all know I can't sit still. The Emperor. Aries energy. Aries is very significant right now, being in Neptune and Saturn. We just had that conjunction be exact at 0 degrees. Aries, the creation point. Big deal. And after Pisces, right, is Aries season. It's coming up soon. You got a Page of Swords and an 8 of Pentacles. All right, let me make sure that's it before we go into this. So Hangman is stagnation. You've been feeling stuck. You've just kind of been in limbo. It doesn't necessarily mean in a bad way. It's just where you were meant to be at the moment. Like energies were finishing up or something, and there wasn't much movement, good or bad, one way or the other going on. But that's going to change. That's all going to change now. The Emperor is the exact opposite of that, right? The Emperor is, if you had to describe the Emperor in one word, it's action, right? The Emperor is action-oriented. Doesn't sit in the planning phase, you know, like makes a plan, goes after it, executes it amazingly, and builds empires, not kingdoms, empires. He's all 4 kings combined. Aries energy. Page of Swords is about learning. That's new information, all right? You're either gaining a new perspective on something, or, you know, studying something new that changes things for you, or you're like broadening your horizons here, which I really hope you're all doing. I do. Breaking out of the box. 8 of Pentacles is about hard work, but it's also about self-mastery. So if you're working on it, being an emperor and learning something new, that is self-mastery. That's what gets you to the very top of the ladder on the other side as a soul, right? Where it counts. Where you're going to be for all eternity. That's all. Knight of Pentacles is about building a long-term stable foundation. It's security, especially financially, but like earthly 3D things, right? Like a house and a nest egg or some investment, right? With like, you know, that's doing well, and you have all this money set up for later. But it's also like about reliability. It's the most reliable knight in the deck. He's the slowest. But slow and steady wins the race. He always finishes. Super reliable. Wants to build long-term. Okay? And can often be about money because it's Pentacles. Earth sign energy. So that's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Queen of Cups. Pisces energy. Water sign. Queen of emotion, of love and compassion. Nurturing. Right? A King of Swords, air signs. So this is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius right here. The King of Swords is all about truth. Speaks his truth, says his truth, owns his truth, sees through your bullshit 100% of the time. Even if you don't know it's bullshit, you believe it, you think it's real. King will call you out on it, King of Swords. Very much about authenticity, standing proudly in who you are, communication. But they're also the thinkers of the zodiac, like the brilliant minds of the zodiac, right? I love this. The fact that this came out in this order is like amazing. I can't. 10 of Wands. This is your burden you can no longer carry. It's too heavy. It's time for you to put it down. Not your cross to bear. You're not carrying that weight anymore. Let it end. Completion. Done. And it's a permanent ending. It's an absolute ending. Okay? Hello, sir. Aw, thank you. Thank you, my beloved Taurus. The Fool, here's your brand new beginning. Step 0, that's how new it is. Not even, it's like barely day 1. You know, like it's like 5:01 a.m. on day 1. That's how new. Hello, how are you? So put the weight down. Stop carrying these burdens that you've been carrying around for a very long time. Give yourself a break. Give it a rest. Accept the new opportunity. Embrace the new opportunity, the chance for a new adventure. That's all it is. It's just an adventure. If it's not right for you, who cares? If you go out and you try something and you make a mistake, who cares? Then go start something else after that. That's what it's all about, you know? We're here for soul growth. That is why we're here. Do y'all hear this snoring? Because it's so cute. I can't take it. Anyway, some of these have songs associated with them, and I want you to have them. That's the whole reason I wanted to use this deck tonight. Hanged Man. Stagnation energy, right? This guy. This is Chris Cornell's Jesus Christ pose. It's sort of fitting, is it not? Let me see. Cannot move, looks like a divinity in some myth, sacrificed for knowledge or the common good. He reminds us of our indecision and the presence of obstacles in our path. Things are just going as they should be because the world is there for itself and not for us, but this is the turning point. The turning point lies in observing and being able to change perspective. Okay. Change perspective upside down and unable to use our arms despite the fact that society demands decision and initiative. The Hanged Man is a sacrifice to ourselves, a journey into our vulnerable side. It is the chosen card of those who create, starting from their weakness. Oh, I love that. Starting from their weakness, or their weaknesses, in order to touch the souls of others. We sacrifice action to look at the world. All right, so maybe that's where we're coming from, right? Because the next card is the Emperor. Now we know we're moving into action. Holla. I'm ready. Y'all ready? I'm ready. There's our Emperor. And again, it's Chris Cornell. So we apparently all owe him a moment during this eclipse, okay? Think of your favorite song by Chris Cornell or that he's covered or whatever, and make sure you make it part of your moment tonight or tomorrow morning, okay? So this is Rusty Cage. Chris Cornell, the Emperor, breaking free of his imposed role in order to make decisions for himself. Thinking for yourself, outside the box, right? Blurring the lines. Love it. And therefore inspiring others to do the same. There is a rebel hiding in every Emperor. Oh, so welcome on this channel. Someone who breaks the mold, an anarchist who believes that the only necessary structure is awareness. Awareness. Which means the same fucking thing as being awakened. All right, did that hit? I hope that hit. I think all of that is within our control in a certain way. If you expect for shit to fail and happen to, you know, like it's self-fulfilling prophecy. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm not going to get crazy into it. I'm just dropping that. I'm just going to drop that right here. Let's look at the Fool. Card 0. Anything's possible for the Fool. He brings chaos into our lives, inviting us to prepare to take a leap into the unknown or into the future. Kurt Cobain sings that he feels worse at what he does best in Smells Like Teen Spirit. Write that one down. Song for the eclipse. Which makes a lot of sense, I think. Teen Spirit being a perfume used by college girls, but also a strong allusion to adolescence. Yeah, I was wearing that shit when I was 12. For real. Followed by feeling stupid and contagious, these words contain the spirit of both grunge and youth, metaphorically and literally. And it's as if they come out of the Fool's mind like a red balloon, ready to explore the sky or burst. The Fool is card 0, and he has the ability to imagine bridges where others see the danger of forever falling into themselves, as if falling from a tall building. He represents the soul imprisoned in its dream, from which it may never awaken. Yet even the naivest of dreams can become a survival tool. The young man balanced on a ledge points to a balloon, holding up a ladder, which perfectly represents the reversed meanings of this card. Light things support heavy things. Every step on an uphill journey finds comfort in a childlike spirit. The Fool heralds the challenges we will encounter. Where will we get lost? Who will be with us? Will we manage to preserve our spontaneity through it? And last but not least, will we remember to watch where we're putting our feet? I partially agree. Hi, a lot with that like description or interpretation of this card, and I partially don't. So I'm going to clarify. We're going to use another deck. But there's very much like a theme of kind of balance going on here, like Queen of Cups, King of Swords, emotion and thought, heart and head coherence, right? That's balance. An ending, Ten of Wands, and a beginning, the Fool. Or the Hangman being in stagnation for too long versus the Emperor, who is very fast action. And even kind of the Page of Swords in a way. The Page of Swords is not action-oriented. That's a card of like, I'm learning something. And so is Eight of Pentacles. You know, it's like an apprentice, like self-mastery, right? Working hard at mastering something or completing something. Like this dude's trying to learn how to play guitar. Like, good for you, man. Go for it, right? And then the Nine of Pentacles, who's about building this new stable future, which takes a little planning, you know? But I think you need a little bit of all of these energies to make anything that's good for you and the whole of the collective happen in the best way it could, or, you know, with the strongest outcome. I hear you. I hear you. I was the hanged man for most of my life. And that's kind of why I am the way I am now, you know. Sure, the day will come where I'll be tired of being a Rolling Stone, right? And I'll be like, can I just stay someplace for more than a day or a week? But right now, I just want an adventure. That's what I want. I'm open to anything. I'm up for anything, whatever it is. I'll go. If I hate it, okay. I won't do it again. But at least I will have learned something, experienced something. It's all soul growth at the end of the day. For the collective, please. Blood moon, lunar eclipse. What they need to know. How can I guide them or advise them here? All right, well, let's clarify this reading for the collective, please. I'm using the Aquarius Tarot to clarify these messages, y'all, in case anybody wants to know what these decks are. Ooh, hell yeah, Three of Cups. It's a card of celebration, like finding your soul tribe, having more fun, having a reason to celebrate, like something amazing's happened for you or you've achieved something amazing. I just heard like a going away party. Tonight was the first time I talked about that because I'm going to be moving. Hierophant. This is an awakening. This is a spiritual level up, the Hierophant. It's the most like spiritually connected male archetype in tarot, masculine archetype. It's Page of Wands. An opportunity to follow what you're passionate about. Following your passion. Creation, creative energy. That's what it's all about. That's what wands are all about. Oh, that was a bunch. Queen of Wands. Hey, how are you, Crystal? Welcome in, babe. Happy full moon eclipse night. Queen of Wands is the most magnetic and attractive archetype in all of tarot. Leo energy, so very fiery, very much about creativity. She's like an entrepreneur, but she's like a compassionate, loving mom too. So nice balance in a Queen of Wands energy. So a lot of eyes might be on you right now. You have this ability to attract lots of things to you. Just the energy I always want you to be in. You know, we attract, we don't chase. Thank you for candles. That would be amazing. High Priestess, the Divine Feminine's on this channel. That does not mean you're female. If you identify as being in your Divine Femme era, I don't care what your gender is on the earth. It doesn't matter. But this is some Divine Feminine energy. Queen of Wands and the High Priestess here. That's pretty powerful. So the High Priestess is the female, the Divine Femme version of the Hierophant. So the two most powerful archetypes in all of tarot showing up for you. both the most spiritually connected. The High Priestess is seriously intuitive and psychic and has full access to universal knowledge, like Akashic records, all of those things. And is very much kind of a loner in a lot of ways because her spiritual growth and vibration is the most important thing on the planet to her. So she doesn't want to fuck around with shit that might move that, change that dial for her. But she does represent mystery very often, too. Yeah, it happens all the time. You know, I was born female. I'm a female on Earth, but I've been living in divine masculine energy for a long time. Ace of Pentacles. The universe is about to give you a very big opportunity with abundance attached. All right, that's a giant ass coin. It's not a little coin. That's a big ass coin. Okay. This is an opportunity for you to make some serious money and create that stability and, like, you know, long-term stability and security in your life. Hi, welcome. Oh, a honeysuckle. I love that. I got to get some of your candles. You got to, like, leave us a link or something. We got a 3 of Swords. This is heartbreak. This is utter heartbreak. That's disappointment. And a 7 of Cups. This is about options. This is choices. And sometimes they can be overwhelming. So here's what I'm hearing. Oh, hold on. I think there's another card here. But after a heartbreak, after something really breaks our heart and hurts us, you know, been there, done that, baby. It's really hard for us to look at options again in a dreamy way. We're so afraid that that's going to happen again that it actually limits our growth, right? Keeps us stuck. So look at that. If that's going on for you, you really got to heal that. You got to let that go. This is the best opportunity you're going to have, maybe in our lifetime, to create your reality, to really change your reality. You know, everything is aligned to assist you in doing that. So don't let the fear of somebody hurting you again keep you from being able to fulfill everything that you can in your life. All these options, all these opportunities, they're all available to you. You can have any one of them you want. You can have them all. You know, and if it sucks, it sucks. So what? Move on. This is just one life, all right? It's like the Truman Show down here. It ain't that serious. It's really not. When you cross over, you're going to get a report card, and they're going to say how you did. Like, you know, that day when you were in, like, 7th grade and you were like, oh my God, it's the end of my life because I got a bad report card, and you were terrified to go home and show your parents. But today, at the age you are now, does it fucking matter anymore? No. That day is going to come where your life as a whole has that energy. It's not that serious, man. It's going to be all right. And anybody that loses you is the one that suffered the loss. You know, they just weren't aligned to be in your energy. You outgrew them. Rejection is protection. 2 of Cups, soulmate. A lot of y'all have a soulmate thing that you're dealing with that's either coming in or leaving your life, which makes sense with all this divine masculine, divine femme energy coming through here. And I don't want you to, like, don't just grab the first one that's willing to stay. You got all these options. And if you don't know what you want in a partnership, whether that be romantic or business, then you need to figure it out. You know, what do you love in a partner? What do you absolutely not want in a partner? So that you kind of makes this process a little bit easier for you. But also don't keep yourself from embracing that energy in your life. Love is everything. It's everything. With friends, with family, with coworkers, with what you create, what you do, your love of the earth, right? Or your love and devotion to your spiritual growth, your connection to source. It is the literal heartbeat of the earth. It's everything. So you had a painful ending. You felt hella betrayed. That could be, again, romantic, family, whatever. This card came out over the 10 of Wands. We have the 10 of Swords clarifying the 10 of Wands. There's only 2 cards about painful endings in the entire deck, and this is it. These are them. But put them behind you now. Everything from here on out is brand friggin' new. All right. None of the themes that have happened in your life have to ever happen again. And you're not powerless in ensuring that that doesn't happen. There are things you can do. All right? You need to, like, kind of take your power back here a bit. Well, you know, in a way, like, why should there always be such an expectation and a focus on an outcome? Why can't we just be super happy and chill and cool with where we are right now? Right? Like, what's so wrong with just saying, right now, I love you. Right now, I'm having a great time. Right now, I really want to be with you. And this is great. This is working out great. Without it having to be like, you know, swear on a stack of Bibles and you know, 57 lamb babies. Is that a thing? No, a lamb is a baby, whatever. That you're going to love me until the end of time. And not just this lifetime, but all fucking lifetimes too. You know what? I want you to love me as long as you love me. And if the day comes where you're not so sure you love me anymore, or this ain't feeling great and you're no longer having a good time, I want you to have that honest conversation with me too. Because I don't want to live a lie. And I don't want to be here if you don't want to be here. And it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to tell me you're going to love me forever. Just love me right now. If that changes, okay, let's have an honest conversation, right? Just be where you are. Be where you are. Now we got the Lovers, all right? Two of Cups and the Lovers, which can be a card of choice. So if romance is no like anywhere near your radar, and this could also be like a business partnership or something, just saying. But it could be a choice, you know, if it's not about an actual relationship for you. But there's a lot of love energy here. There's a lot of divine masculine, divine feminine coming through. I think a lot of you really have to finish out that final sweep in this retrograde of what shit have I been holding on to from all my past relationships. If you got one of those boxes where you keep memories, what do they call them, like a X something, somebody tell me in the comments. Somebody will know what I'm talking about. Don't keep that shit. Get rid of it. It's holding you back. Start fresh, all right? Sage the friggin' house. Get rid of all the old shit. Stop hanging on to shit that fit you when you were 17 and now you're 57 and you're like, one day I'm gonna wear them again. Fucking no. Get rid of it. All right, everything is new from here on out. Everything changes. So new that we don't even know what to look for or expect because we're breaking all the rules of the matrix and 3D life. We're changing consciousness here. So those rules don't apply. They're limiting you. Get rid of it all. Let it go, right? Yeah, why do people keep that shit? Like, you want to harbor on that forever? I don't get it. I don't get it. So if you got your ex's shit laying around, get rid of it tonight, please, okay? And if it's just energetic, let go of what you need to let go of. Forgiveness is a very great way to achieve that, all right? Y'all know what I'm talking about, though. What do they call them, an Xbox? Is that what it is, an Xbox or something? I don't get it. Don't do that. Don't do it. For the collective, please. Advice, guidance, what do they need to know to harness the power of this eclipse? I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, you should get your hoodies back. Preach. That's fair. Because why should you be holding on to them if it's done, okay? Goldfinger. Fuck you and your cat. It's my favorite breakup song of all time. I'm sure it is a video game also, but I do believe they call it an Xbox. Yeah. I want your hoodies back too. Solitude, number 13. It's my number. Solitude, a lot of y'all might be hermit mode now. But that's just because you're processing and you're finding your new path. That's okay. Embrace it. Wherever you are, just be there. Okay. Cleaning house. Cleaning house. Get rid of the old shit, y'all. Clean it out. I don't mean like actually sweeping the floors, although that's an energy thing, so do. But I mean the clutter. Like just get rid of the old shit we're holding on to. Okay. Golden Palace, number 23. Making a choice. 2 doorways, 2 pathways there. You see that? Coming apart. Sad embrace. You're processing. You're processing all the things that have left, come and gone in your life. But that's okay. Because you're also dreaming up and imagining everything that is going to be coming towards you in this new life, in your new existence. So that is okay. Just be where you are. This is a very emotional eclipse. We are in Pisces season. All right. Wherever you are, just be there. But don't stop focusing on what could be, on the new possibilities, on where you want to go. Because you are creating your reality every day. Every day, every thought you have, every word you speak. Remember, your words are spells. Just be so cognizant of that right now. Okay? Our whole world is going to change. It's changing. I mean, there's no denying it, right? We can all see that. Whether you're spiritual or not, you got to see that. Jesus Christ. Mercury does not love being in Pisces. Mercury is thought and logic. Pisces is emotion and intuition, right? Very different energy. And we're about to have a whole bunch of planets parading into Pisces. You know, we had that stellium of planets in Aquarius where they're all one by one shifting into Pisces now. You know, so Mars is going to go into Pisces. Fiery, god of war, you know, war planet Mars is going to move into, you know, watery, intuitive, dreamy Pisces. It's a strange combo. Most people will tell you that Mars really hates being in Pisces. I don't actually see it that way, although on paper, you know, it does sort of look like that. There are some upsides to it, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Anything the collective needs to know, advice, guidance for this eclipse, please. March astrologically is kind of like a shitstorm for astrologers, because there's so many aspects every single day. There are aspects every day. There are transits happening and aspects changing every day. It's so packed that we really can only focus on sort of the biggest ones. I mean, some big ones already happened. We're on day 2. And tomorrow there's the biggest one happening, or in the morning. Assertion, which is Aries energy, house 1, the house of self. Charity, which is Cancer energy, very like Saturnian Cancer energy. House 4, which is like your house of home and family. So some of y'all are like receiving an inheritance or something here, or like a house being left to you, or I don't know, something. You're getting some kind of gift here in that sense. You have publicity, which is Jupiter and Leo energy. House 5, which is like about passion, sensuality, things like that, creativity. You have practicality, very Capricorn energy when it comes to career. Publicity, practicality. Where are we going? We have lust, Aries energy, again, house 1. And we have risk, which is Taurus. You know, Taurus in general is, I mean, that's Aries, not Taurus. But Taurus energy in general is like, you know, that they rule the house of finances and security, right? Stability. So risk is not generally a Taurus theme. But there's Taurus placements that are going to happen this month that are going to kind of flip all that. Where risk kind of becomes worth the reward, if that makes sense. Indecision, Libra energy. A lot of like very passionate energy coming through in this reading. Y'all are really feeling this eclipse, aren't you? You're totally feeling it. Extremism, Scorpio. Speculation is Cancer. We have health, Virgo energy. We have bluff, Gemini energy. Friendship, Cancer energy. Impulsiveness, Aries again. Aries for the win, man. There's Aries all over this. And inspiration, which is Pisces. Virgo at the bottom of the deck. All right, let me listen for a second. There's a lot of friggin' messages getting shot at me right now because the storyline is sort of different for all of you. I almost want to put you in houses, like Harry Potter, like the house 1 people, the Aries energy, the sort of Capricorn Virgo energy, the Cancer energy. Got Aquarius with independence, house 11. Drama, fortune, both Leo. Ostentation, Taurus. Criticism, which is Virgo. And originality, which is Aquarius. Okay. All right. And vision, Pisces. Okay. Give me a second. This is maybe the one time in your life that you're going to hear me say this. And this isn't me. This is coming directly from Spirit. For y'all. For everybody, right? Like just masses, the masses. This is the time to be impulsive. This is the time to be assertive. This is the time to take risks. This is the time where lust is encouraged. All right? And I don't mean that in like a weird, lusty, creepy way. I mean that like having a lust for life again. Like, where's your fire and passion for life? If you've been hangman, right? Stagnant, bored, whatever. This is the time to go get it. Fuck criticism. who cares about being ostentatious. This is about originality. This is the age of Aquarius, baby. Aquarius is nothing but original and innovative. You know, let your freak flag fly. We all got one. Some of us just hide them. And that is no longer a noble trait to have.